It is now my honor, though, to introduce my friend and colleague, David Rabbitt. David Rabbitt represents Southern Sonoma County on the Board of Supervisors, and he just started his second year as chairperson of the board. Supervisor Rabbitt is incredible to work with, and I know that I can speak for all of us on the board that we are grateful for his leadership and hard work. Please join us and welcome the 2014 Chairman of the Board of Supervisors to the stage and fellow Pliny the Younger lover, David Rabbitt.
Thank you so much, Mike. Mike, you know, you're truly one of a kind, a pleasure to serve alongside, and Sonoma County, and I think I could say this in this venue, will be so extremely well served by having you represent us in Sacramento. So appreciate that very much. Didn't mean to get overly political there. And before I start, I do want to take a moment to recognize my wife, Jane, who's with me today, and also recognize my children. As many of you know who serve in public service, your family takes a little bit of a beating in that process. Megan, Patrick, and Sarah couldn't be here today. They're at work and school, respectively, but they do all put up with a lot, meetings at all hours and responsibilities that take me away from home or demand my attention even when I am home, or Jane having to put up with me ranting and raving after a board meeting. Truly, I couldn't do it without you, and I thank you very much and love you. And as I look out at you this morning, she told me not to say that, but really, as I look at you this morning and think of last year, it really does bring the words of Yogi Berra. It's deja vu all over again. I do very much appreciate the board's confidence in me to serve as chair of the Board of Supervisors for a second consecutive year. It's an honor. I thank you very much. And the truth of the matter is that our board works well together. I think that's our obligation to you as well as to ourselves. We share responsibility and credit. We can debate and argue a point. We can agree and agree to disagree. But all along, we maintain our professionalism and our collegiality through a common and steadfast commitment to serve the public's interests, something I'm sure Congressman Huffman knows well about. So to my colleagues, Vice Chair Gore and Supervisor Zane, McGuire, and Carrillo, thank you so much for your service, and serving alongside of you is a pleasure. This last year has had its challenges, certainly challenges that were not imagined a year ago when we were here, and we've toiled through them, through some tragedy and grief, and I certainly have a lot of confidence that Sonoma County, like it always does, will emerge better and stronger than ever. And we will because of our collaboration and partnerships with many people in this room, and I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for that. We know also in recent years at this event that we've talked about the recession, we've talked about resetting our base, we've talked about cautious optimism. We've used phrases like the light at the end of the tunnel or metaphors about coming through a metamorphosis. And while all those were true at the time, today I am pleased to tell you we don't need to go there. Today we are talking about a future for Sonoma County that is bright with greater opportunities for all. This last year, we formed collaborative relationships with businesses, with nonprofits, with our educational system, with our city partners, as well as with volunteers. We've made investments that we believe will pay off exponentially, and we continue to be innovative, seeking the right answers for Sonoma County wherever they may originate. We've laid a strong foundation, and we hope to build upon that in 2014. So let's review for a moment. We have made some of the most significant investments in our county's infrastructure in the history of Sonoma County. Our overall investment in the Highway 101 project from Novato to Windsor has been $1.2 billion since 2001. This last year, we invested $54 million in the Airport Boulevard interchange, $41 million in the Redwood Highway interchange down in Petaluma, and over $163 million combined for the Petaluma Boulevard interchange and Petaluma River Bridge replacement. In addition, we chipped away at the shortfall to complete the Narrows project by some $35 million. And you know, none of that investment would have happened without our local match dollars from Measure M. And by the way, for every Measure M dollar spent, 6 additional dollars are brought into Sonoma County from either federal or state sources. And that is a huge investment in infrastructure, jobs, and our economy. This board has dedicated more dollars to address our county roads condition than ever before. Over $50 million invested in each of the last 2 years, and the board is committed to a strategy to continually improve our nearly 1,400 miles of road over time. In addition, over $250 million has been invested in SMART, the largest commuter rail project in the Bay Area. I think it's interesting. I talked to Farhad Mansourian, and we were talking about the scale of the SMART project. SMART is a 42 mile, 46. This is what happens when you wing it. You get the numbers wrong. 48 mile stretch of track. But to really put it in perspective, the largest BART extension was about 8 miles. The largest BART extension of 8 miles will take about 6 years to complete. We're talking a 48-mile commuter rail project here in Sonoma and Marin counties, the largest in California, really, right in our midst, and we should be proud of that. And while these investments in our transportation infrastructure are critical in our continued economic success countrywide or countywide, we are also investing in our neighborhood infrastructure, which supports small businesses, families, and communities. $11.5 million has been reinvested into priority areas and projects in the neighborhoods of Roseland, Sonoma Valley, and the Russian River. This is a result of the dissolution of redevelopment, and I might add, relatively rare for a county to stay on track and continue with that investment going forward. And congratulations to Sonoma County for staying committed to that. $5 million has been invested and been directed at our county's children and families. Through First 5 capital investments, we have expanded dental health services for children. We have expanded quality preschool access to eligible families and expanded our capacity for parent education. For dental health, a significant issue for families in this county, we have increased the number of chairs within the county by 50%, addressing one of the most significant health issues for children, and one that hampers not only their physical and emotional health, but their academic success. We have made investments in preparation of healthcare reform by investing $2 million to expand capacity in our facilities throughout the county and to increase access to integrated services. Our county also has a well-deserved reputation for innovation. While most counties shy away from investing in education, we recognize that without a strong education system, without a commitment to upstream principles, we can never hope to have a strong economy or strong families or safe communities. Through Health Action, we have continued to support our community's shared movement, Cradle to Career, and have begun to address the underlying opportunity gap rather than lament the achievement gap. In other words, addressing the cause rather than the symptom. Truly an upstream investment. The county has also leveraged private and philanthropic dollars to pool over $2 million for career technical education throughout Sonoma County. And I want to thank our partners, the John Jordan Foundation, Community Foundation of Sonoma County, Tony Crabb, and others in investing in our students and our children. You give them a round of applause, please. The county is also proud to participate in United Way Schools of Hope program that helps children build the critical reading skills needed to succeed in school and life. I think right now county employees mentor over 60 kids throughout the county, and we're going to build on that each and every year. Our county also continues to be an innovator in the area of energy, water, and the environment. Sonoma County created the first county PACE program in the nation, Sonoma County Energy Independence Program. We've established a county-wide regional climate protection authority. We built a new fuel cell to power the county campus. And we have been recognized nationwide as having one of the greenest fleet operations in the country. This past year, the board launched Sonoma Clean Power, providing an alternative source of renewable power to the citizens of Sonoma. We have also installed 48 electric vehicle charging stations at 18 separate locations throughout the county through the implementation of the county's electric vehicle trail initiative. And in all that we do, there is a sense of collaboration in Sonoma County that is unique and helps define us. Sonoma County has some of the highest, if not the highest, rate of volunteerism in the state of California. Our collaborative initiatives like Health Action and upstream investments have been recognized as models for cross-sector collaboration. This year, the club at Juvenile Hall and the REACH program were recognized with state and national awards for successful collaboration. The club is a fully functional Boys and Girls Club chapter operating both inside and outside the walls of the county's juvenile hall facility. The REACH program provides a focused case management program for youth released from juvenile hall. Last year at this event, I announced the receipt of a $3.5 million community transformation grant, a recognition from the federal government of our readiness for healthcare reform, as well as validation of our innovative and collaborative efforts with our partners. The funding has advanced efforts to enhance our local food system, expand access to healthier foods for schools, and bolster our Safe Routes to Schools program. This year, the grant funded the Baby-Friendly Hospital Initiative, which involves the adoption of 6 simple, inexpensive, and evidence-based practices used around the world that get babies and mothers off to the best start possible. Through collaboration, we have been able to protect over 109,000 acres of beautiful and incredibly valuable open space and agricultural land in Sonoma County. This last year, that included the addition of Buckeye Forest, which was formerly known as Preservation Ranch. Those 20,000 acres connect to a 70,000-acre corridor of protected forest land and also include restoration of a vast swath of the Guala River watershed. That acquisition could not happen without the help and partnership of the Conservation Fund, Sonoma County Agricultural Preservation and Open Space District, the Coastal Conservancy, the Moore Foundation, and the Sonoma Land Trust. And I would be remiss not to mention partnerships within the Sonoma County Water Agency, especially on days like today, as Ben mentioned, where it's 70 degrees and it should be raining. The 20-Gallon Challenge is a conservation program in collaboration with the Sonoma Marin Water Saving Partnership, a coalition of 9 cities, and the Water Agency serving over 600,000 people in 2 counties. In addition, North Bay Water Reuse Authority was launched by our water agency and now includes 3 counties and 7 sanitation districts with an authorized $100 million authority from the Bureau of Reclamation that's putting infrastructure in the ground. Lastly, in 2013, we successfully completed labor negotiations with all of our labor groups. And this was concession bargaining, not an easy thing to do or to ask or to accept. Our employees stepped up and understood the circumstances, understood that we had a structural deficit as the result of 2008 and that we needed to correct. In addition, we achieved over $170 million in pension savings from this round of negotiations that will be realized over the next 10 years. I know of no other county that has achieved that amount of savings without ending up in impasse. So really, hats off to our Sonoma County employees, and I thank them so much for this good faith bargaining in this last year. And as Mike said, Sonoma County is one of the best places to live, learn, work, and play. We have a strengthened educational system with unique investment and collaboration. We have continued our innovation and leadership in the area of energy, water, and sustainability. And we have expanded our protection of natural resources while actively helping businesses to grow and expand. Sonoma County's foundation is strong. The recession, thankfully, is behind us. Our base is reset. Our optimism, perhaps less cautious. And we are coming out of the tunnel, and we are truly poised to take off. Thank you all very much for being here, and have a great day.